Hi everyone, this is Mike Gordon. Welcome back to my perfect playthrough of Final Fantasy VI Advance. As you can see on the left-hand side, we have a ton of gold going around. And oh yeah, I maxed on Celestia grinding in the Dinosaur Forest. I just want to show off all 270 items. And I only highlighted the maximum number of items in the game to showcase I have them all now. And the ones that are still white, well, those are items we still need to max out. And now I want to prove that, hey, I have taught all these characters every spell in the game. Well, except for two. Locke and Shadow don't know any magic. However, they did max out their stats. Alright, so yep, I am just showing that off. Gravija. That's 257 out of 57 for Cyan. Just to prove that no, Shadow doesn't have anything. And I maxed out Shadow, just barely did it. And I did a quick reset for Locke and Bog to get them to max stats. And I'm gonna skip ahead to my other party. And I'm basically gonna show off the same thing. With Edgar, I got barely got max stats with Edgar. Sabin already had max stats, so he's fine. In fact, of the character of all of the 12 party members who can max out their stats, Cyan, Strago, Relm, and Setzer are the only ones who have done so. There was really no way around it. Strago, even from level 1, it would take 2 resets to max out Strago. And that's 91 stamina, so need about 19 more levels on him. And there's Relm and Setzer, and as I said, technically it took me 2 resets for Locke and Mog to max out. So I just did a quick one. To max them out. And Locke and Shadow are also the only characters who don't know any magic. You know, besides Gogo and Umaro, who can't equip Vespers. Alright. And now, this is the party setup that I'm going to take with me as we take on the Dragon's Den. It is just west of Mobliz, so just so you know. And we have to take on and there are 128 boss battles that we have to take, and we have to battle all of them without leaving the shrine. That means you can't tent up and save in between matches. It's basically similar to the Battle Frontier. Additionally, there are 10 waves. And the number of enemies vary wildly. And between those 10 waves are the only times that you are allowed to make adjustments to your equipment and to your to Vespers, and even just heal up, and even just a bit of reprieve. Say you're going somewhere and you only have about 10 minutes to finish something. And you can just do a quick save after you finish a single tier. For the record, I want max stats on everybody possible, as well as every spell conceivable. In hindsight, I probably should have just, cast a bunch of ultimas to take these guys out. I mean, this battle is a really, really long one. Yeah, I wish there was stuff that I could talk about, but the enemies in the first tier are, for the most part, a bunch of weak early game fodder. And not to mention, there really aren't any items for us to steal or drop or even morph in the early parts of this challenge either. However, most of the encounters are fixed. However, occasionally you will come across a battle that will have two formations. I got the rare one here, which is why I skipped Edgar to attack one of the dark forces. Yep. Iron Helm, Potion, and Mithril Swords are items to steal. Oh yeah, that was the first of 4 new Velt formations for us to pick up. We had a chance to encounter the heavy armor corporal formation in the battle for Narsh, but I opted to skip that formation altogether for easy Velt manipulations. Well, we no longer need to manipulate the encounters in Group 12, so the heavy armor corporal formation was a free one. That's another one where the encounters are set. I have one of 2 possibilities. We got 3 more new encounters left to go. So yes, I was taking great caution to manipulate my attacks. And I got the common one, and this is the new formation that's the crown jewel, and that's Death Warden. We weren't able to get Death Warden's formation back in the cave on the Veldt when we fought him. And the reason we couldn't get him there was because of a bug. And this is also a new formation. By the way, it should be noted that the Death Warden encounter the Soul Shrine is the correct formation that will appear on the Veldt, and the previous spell was a new formation as well. However, it is one of 2 of the new formations that you can't find anywhere else in the game. Well, technically 3, because Death Warden. Man, this is so boring. But don't worry, things will get a little interesting in a little bit. My recommendations is you want to be able to, at the very least, check on what kind of formations you can possibly run into and plan accordingly. However, phase 1, there really isn't a point to that. There's only one formation that's dangerous, and that's the blue glue turn, I believe. I want to move Ragnarok onto Celeste because Tier 2 and Wave 2 is pretty easy still. However, there's some encounters that I want to take advantage of. Yeah, in case you missed that one in the Burning Mansion. Interestingly enough, there aren't a whole lot of world map encounters in the Soul Shrine. Oh, that was a little weird. And this is the last new formation for us to run into. Gigantos 2. Now, there's technically one more formation for us to get, but you can't get that at the Soul Shrine. There's only one place in the game to get it. I'll show off that location in a bit. What's going on here? Oh, god damn it. Alright, so yeah. I probably should have put in that, oh, you can morph the ninjas. Yeah, you could, but there's really no reason to morph the Platinum Dragon as well. Alright, and the more common encounter here would have been against Lamray and Peeper, which is a convenient way to get elixirs and mega elixirs. Actually, the most convenient way to get more elixirs is to bet crap items like antidotes in the Coliseum and then one-shot Typhon with the Master Scroll Genji Glove setup. And this is the reason why I equipped the Ragnarok Esper. And specifically, I manipulated the encounters here so I can get both Thornlets. Because I'm already maxed on Leech Rings and Curse Rings. So this is just done for brevity's sake. And, alright. As usual, you want to cast Stop on this guy. And then attack with the Master Scroll Ultimate Weapon. By the way, I almost forgot I did do a couple test runs inside the Dragon's Den just to figure out which frame I should enter these things, and more specifically, to get a good handle on how to best handle a place like this. Energia and Destroyer. I got the green Glutern, which have Force Shields as a rare steel. Blue Gluterns have Celestiats as a rare steel. And that's something you need to know. The Gluterns are newly introduced enemies that will only appear in the Soul Shrine. They don't have bestiary entries, and they have different strategies on taking them out, and have different items to steal based on their color. Greens have the Force Shields, blues have Celestiats, yellows have Master Scroll, and red has the Soul of Thamasa. The Soul of Thamasa is the red Gluterns are the only enemies in the game that you can get more Souls of Thamasa from. So you absolutely do, in fact, want to take care of these guys while you still can. And all the green Gluterns can do is just attack you repeatedly. Vanish would make good work of them. I'll explain how to deal with each of the Gluterns as they pop up. And yes, I wind up fighting all 4 types of Gluterns in this episode. And honestly, I kind of wish I got the 3 Tome Berries in this battle instead of Dark Behemoth. Because that gives me more chances to get Minerva buffs here, which means less steal attempts from... Which means there aren't as many things left for me to steal from them. Alright. I just want to heal everyone up. And I basically did a bit of research ahead of time, and I know that I want to give Celeste the Lifebringer. Why? Because I need access to Celeste's runic ability, and she can't runic with the Ultima weapon. It has to be a sword made of some kind of metal. And not a lightsaber. And yep. By the way, I have to do the quick Ultima weapon strategy because these guys counter everything. And I mean everything. Not only that, their counterattacks are extremely dangerous. You've actually seen firsthand just how dangerous a single shield dragon can be. And now we have to deal with 2 of these fuckers. Jarring Blow confuses you, but because I killed the shield dragon and didn't need that drop, but okay. Now Lifebringer is one of those magic swords that will drain your MP just to deal critical hits. which makes Lifebringer in certain situations the ultimate weapon in the game. However, MP is a pretty invaluable resource, so I want to be careful. I'm running out of things to say. I mean, this is what you get, basically. Magnarotor 2. I believe the next encounter has access to... Alright, here's our next glue turn. Glue turn red is the main reason why I have Celeste equip a... to equip Lifebringer and sub-ultima weapon. It's so I could runic ultima here. Of course, this isn't going to stop Heartless Angel. But I digress. So yeah, I did do a couple run through here, so I actually wound up gaining a second Master Scroll for all my effort. However, I didn't beat it. Falsia. And that was definitely a critical hit, which meant Celeste lost some magic points. And I got the rare Hexadragon here. I should mention too that pretty much every single enemy from the Dragon's Den will appear inside the Soul Shrine. The only exception being Omega Weapon, who we haven't fought yet. I think I'll save that for last. Alright. Alright, and we are just about done. And luckily, Samurai does not have Eye for an Eye as an attack, so that was easy. Alright, and Phase 4 is basically when things start getting a little bit complicated. Alright, I basically have to swap out my miracle shoes for ribbons for this one. But I don't need a runic anything anymore, so... Alright, now to begin wave 4. Scary part is because I no longer have miracle shoes. Enemies here can be pretty dangerous. I'm also way slower and not as durable. So I definitely want to get through this part as quickly as possible. The reason for the ribbons is because of because we are going to be finding the yellow glue turns at the end. Alright, sorry about that. I'm just getting a little bit of an itch. But the bright side is everybody has max speed, so there isn't a whole lot of loss for me to worry about. And so far, pretty much everything goes down to one hit, especially with the Master Scroll equipped. Meanness. Alright. So yeah, there really isn't a lot to talk about. Now I already got all the items that I need from these guys, both for steals and for metamorphosis. So I'm just gonna kill them in a hurry. Same goes for Beelzephon and Channeling Corpse here. Interestingly enough, all of these formations basically it's almost like the Soul Shrine formations are all contain the ideal formations for enemy encounters. So ideally, I probably could have just gone through the Soul Shrine once and grinded my ass off in the Velds against them. But hey, I like to be in control. By the way, the level magics have really high evasion stats. So the Master Scroll completely circumvents their evasion. Well, it should be noted that this is the last tier in the Soul Shrine that will pair us up with nothing but scrubs. And this guy's attacks will do jack shit. Make a cast Berserk on the whole party. Which doesn't work when everybody's protected by ribbons. And and neither does Diabolic Whistle. Alright, I keep expecting the victory fanfare to play, but it never does. Once again, I want to prepare for a Runic because, guess what? We are fighting another red glue turn. I also decided to leave the ribbons on. Just in case. And Master Scroll with Edgar allows you to kill both Angler Whelks for the Dragon Claws. Not that really matters. Because we have to do this 97 more times, at least 97 more times in order to get the 99 Angel Whisper, to do this 98 times just to get the remaining Angel Brushes, among other things. I will eventually have to manipulate a formation that will get me both the Plague and the Flam Princess in, I believe, Group 6, in Wave 6 or Wave 7. And this was easy. And so this is this one. Alright, maxed out on Blood Swords and Rune Blades, and Flame Tongues and Ice Sprints are pretty random, so I don't care about those. Numbers. Kazakiri. I'm gonna ability that steel so I can get the Kazakiri from number 128. Oh wait, I know why I kept the ribbons. It's because of the last enemy in this one, but it's not a glue turned yellow or anything like that. It's just for safety measures. I already showed off the strategy on how to beat glue turn red, so there you go. However, it should be noted that there are significantly fewer enemies in Group 5 than there were in Groups 1 through 4, which range anywhere from 17 to 21 encounters. Just have to one-shot the Air Force base, take them out, and something else I realized is this could have been an automatic princess string. And we got the Master Toneberry. Which results in an automatic Gladius drop. Finally, we got the Brachiosaur. Alright, and that's it for Wave 5. And yes, the ribbons were for the Brachiosaurs. Because of its status attacks. And this time I'm actually putting everyone but Edgar You know what? No. Everyone's going back to their main equipment setups that I specifically want them to be in. Here's wave 6, Gamma, which has a air anchor to steal. Luckily nothing else, so it's free. However, I want to do 4-shot Gamma, so that way Atomic Ray doesn't rate my ass. And I manipulated these formations just so I could run into Plague, which will drop the Angel Brush, and is the rare enemy formation here. Yes, I have to put up with these freakishly low Doom counters because of my high maxed out stamina. But again, Master Scroll completely circumvents evasion, which means one-shotting Plague is really easy. I think I'm just setting up my magic spell list for this. And what I want specifically is to imp this guy. Yojimbo. There is no instant death protection against Eye for an Eye that you can equip. So casting Imp on Yojimbo is your safest bet. And Glitterum Blue is such a pain in the ass to deal with. That would be better just to give him what he wants than to try to fight him. Because he comes... Blue Glitterns actually come with a mixture of status and instant death attacks. And so yeah, equipment's just to deal with them is not worth the hassle. And this formation does not appear on the Veldt at all. Actually, a good number of these formations don't appear on the Veldt at all. However, Dual Armor, the first target I locked onto, carries a rare chainsaw to steal. Keep in mind, I would not be able to move as quickly as I am right now if I didn't have these things. And movers. So I'm just a little tired. And there's one more enemy here. And I got the Fiend Dragons. I wish I got the Flame Princesses. That way I could just run away after I defeat Plague. An additional 98 times. I have to do this at least 196 times. Just to get everything. And Ice Dragon, which is an instant force shield drop. I wish there were instant ribbon drops, but there aren't. So I have to make do with what I have instead. And Storm Dragon has more. It has the most hit points of all 8 of these dragons. So an extra hit would do just fine. Thankfully, I did not have to deal with Cyclonic, which would bring my entire party down to critical health range. But every other elemental dragon is piss easy with the Master Scroll setup. Is there any wonder why in the original copy of Final Fantasy VI you can only get one Master Scroll and that's it? And only one enemy drop carries it. And there was a rare chance to get Blue Turn Yellow, but I got the Gold Dragon, which is fine because we need the Crystal Orbs. Next is the Skull Dragon. And yes, I probably could have. I'm going to definitely update my notes so I could best ideally, so that way I can best ideally, if I do decide on another Final Fantasy VI run with improved strats and everything, I will do that I may do that in the future. I will put up notes on how best to go about getting every item in the game going forward, and how best to handle the grinding, the big grind in the Soul Shrine. And there's the Blue Dragon. One more elemental dragon, we are done. Well, done with Wave 7. But don't worry, these elemental dragons will be back. And yes, you can take on the Soul Shrine as many times as you want. And just making a double check to see if there's anything that I want. And yes, I want to put Celes back on Lifebringer for the sex tier. For Wave 8. Alright. Dalahan, the most reliable way to get unlimited Genji gloves. And because everybody's equipped with Paladin shields, level question mark holy does nothing. Alright, and yeah, we get some bosses that have jack shit for drops and steals, so we just have to one-shot them. And while there is technically the undead Behemoth King, which is 54-0 to get, After careful analysis, I determined that there was absolutely no way to get just the undead formation in the Game Boy Advance version. The notes seem to indicate that you can only get the undead by itself with the Vanish Doom trick, which does not work anymore in the Game Boy Advance version. And here's Samurai Soul. And that's what I really wanted. It's basically an opportunity for me to farm a crap ton of Master Scrolls. Magic Master. And the Big Elixir is automatic because it's a guaranteed drop. Unfortunately, I was not able to damage this guy, fish him off with Terra, but the Runic, so I wound up getting nuked by Ultima, even though I was planning for it. So yeah, I blew that, so I definitely screwed up on that one. I want to manipulate the steel counter so I can get another Thornlet from this guy. And poison does nothing because Paladin Shield. And that's it. The only reason why it took so long is because of the 4 Erebus's. And finally we have Death Gaze, who of course starts off casting level 5 Death. However, because my whole party's level 99, level 5 Death does jack shit. And that should do it for Wave 8. Wave 9 is easily the shortest of the waves. And is also fairly straightforward through all intents and purposes. However, I'm going to set everyone up with Master Scrolls and Miracle Shoes. Well, except for Gogo, who will I will be relying on to steal. However, I will need the Golem Esper for one of these for the very first battle coming up, which is against Zeslug. That's the rare encounter, by the way. The common encounter is against Inferno, which is a convenient way to get ice shields and ice and flame shields. However, there is another way to farm for those items. So, I So because I got Nuzlocke and Plague, I just need to find a formation that'll give me both Plague and Flame Princess. Which will be all the way in Wave 6. And yes, Golem completely shields my party from Megaton Press. Alright, good. Terra actually dealt the killing blow against him. You want to kill Nuzlocke before he retreats his head back into his body, because then he starts auto-regenning and won't take his head back out until he's fully healed back up. Which is why the Master Scroll strats were ideal. And I successfully stole the ribbon from the Guardian. So just need a couple Master Scroll attacks to take him out. And now we have Demon. We want to steal the red jacket from him, and the Radiant Lance is guaranteed. Same goes with Goddess, who has Minerva Buster as a rare steal, and Excalibur, and then Fiend, which has Safety Bit and Mutsu no Kami? Let me see. Yeah, Mutsu no Kami. I mean, I might not be the most fluent in Japanese, but I do know how Japanese pronunciation works. And that's it for Goddess. Now for Fiend, the last of the Warring Triad. I believe there are additional methods in obtaining red jackets and safety bits, but safety bits are extremely difficult to come by. I believe the only other way to get them is in the Coliseum. Red jackets and Minerva Bustiers at least have other enemies that carry them. And believe it or not, this is the last fight of Wave 9. Guess they want to make the final set battles, keep the final set battles completely grouped together. Alright, really the only serious adjustment I need to make is have Echo Screen at the top of the item menu. And the thing with the Strago is it just creates 4 copies of itself, and you have to kill the right one in order to win the battle. Although you can kill the other copies as well. What ultimately matters is that you successfully kill the real one. Which I believe is about to happen. I also killed a copy. I didn't kill all 4 copies that time around. But I killed the real one, and that's all that matters. I got the file drop. And I need to make up for the high ether I used on the blue glue turn. And I just want to get the Storm Dragon Redux over and done with. Alright, Longinus. Earth Dragon, and I'm actually going to take this time to fully heal up my entire party. And then have the girls take this guy out. Gogo's highlight on Rasp already, so that's good to know. Quake is going to do literally jack shit to me because of Paladin Shield. That's its gimmick. Earth Dragon uses Quake and is also is immune to Wind Elemental, while Storm Dragon's gimmick is its freakishly high evasion status. But again, Master Scroll completely circumvents the gimmicks of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th dragons. Actually, they completely circumvent the gimmick of many of these dragons. Only 3 of them can somewhat get away from it. The Ice Dragon gets away from it via its copies. And the Skull and Red Dragons have gimmicks that make it impossible to beat them through the Master Scroll method. And Gold Dragon's gimmick is that he has automatic runic ability available. However, unfortunately, there is no other way to deal with Skull Dragon other than to just cast Rasp over and over again. Yet another reason why I took the time to max out everyone's magic stats. And I want to carefully, because this guy can completely screw you over with status moves and fear. Fear basically inflicts zombie upon your characters. So I'm using ATB waiting to make it so that way the Skull Dragon almost never gets a turn. So yes, this is basically the one dragon I have to deal with the hard way. And before anyone says anything, Joker Doom does not work on this guy. I tried it. If you try to apply the Echo Screen Joker Doom strats on him, he'll just revive himself. You casting Rasp on him over and over and over again is the only way to efficiently take him out. Not efficiently, it's the only way to take him out. And Holy Dragon has auto regen and will use Kiraga on himself. Again, Master Scroll completely circumvents that annoyance from Holy Dragon's side. And Blue Dragon literally makes himself pathetically weak and then uses Rippler on your opposing party member so he could gain all the stat buffs and whatnot for himself while the opponent that he becomes weak as shit. Again, this is completely circumvented with Ultimate Weapon and Master Scroll. Not even the blind status does anything to deter Master Scroll. It's that broken of a relic. Fortunately, Red Dragon Redux is the same as before. You basically have to wait it out. However, slots do. Joker Doom does in fact work on this guy. So there you go, Joker death. Took him out. One shot. No effort required. And of course we got Kaiser Dragon. Because we already maxed on Celestias, there's no reason to steal from him. But if I were to do this challenge again, I would probably employ Ultima. I would probably have Terra and Celes on Ultima casting duties. Or Meltdown casting duties when applicable. And the Frozen Cess keeps your party members from moving until they get hit by a Fire Elemental spell, which is why I use Meltdown there. And which is completely annoying to having to deal with that again. And yes, Kaiser Dragon will occasionally counterattack. And the counterattacks are a good indicator as to what phase he's in, and he's in the Lightning Elemental phase. Previous phase was Ice Elemental. And I had to just wait the time, since I already reduced Kaiser Dragon's health, I just need to wait out the second phase until he's ready to use Barrier Exchange. And that will reset his hit points back to 65,535 or something. The bright side is this battle didn't take anywhere near as long as it took me last time. Alright, Earth Elemental. He uses Quake as a counterattack, so that's how I know. It's also a fairly lengthy spell to cast, so Quake will definitely attribute to the 30-second countdown. He will use barrier change every 30 seconds, regardless of how much health he has left. But you have to defeat 5 of his phases first in order to kill him for real. Which is why I'm just waiting patiently for Celeste and Edgar to make their moves. And he's back to the Ice Elemental. Because I already took out all of his... Since I already cleared out his hit points, I just have to wait for the timer to run out. Hopefully he doesn't use anything that will instant freeze my party. The absolute worst places he can be is poison, and I think holy can cause a lot of problems as well. But definitely poison. Last breath. We just need one more hit and we are good to go. Yep, Ultima. And this is also the reason why I kept the Miracle Shoes on. Because Ultima, without Miracle Shoes, will one-shot your entire party. Unless you have re-raise apply. Unless you've applied re-raise on yourselves. And there we go. And we obtain the Master's Crown. Let's take a look at our little prize. And man, I can't believe we've made it all the way to this point. We have cleared the Soul Shrine, and I will finish up by grinding the Soul Shrine in the later after. Off screen, by the way, so don't worry about anything. Yeah, we didn't max out any items, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But for now, I'm going to save my game right outside Mobliz. And I'm actually going to take this time to reset everybody's levels once more, so... Here it is. Next time we will take on our final level reset in the entire game. This is Mike Gordon, sign out.